Welcome, Sagittarius and Sagittarius Crosswatchers, to your monthly love reading for January 2023. Still crazy to say 2023. Um, so, as always, please take this as it resonates and always use your intuition when making decisions about your life because this is a general reading. Crosswatchers, you're welcome to flip the roles if that resonates better with you. So we have the relationship situation, you're here, your person's here, and then it's thoughts, feelings, and intentions or behavior towards each other. I do want to say next week on the 9th to the 16th, there may not be any readings. That's our first week back at school, so mine and my kids. So it might be a little bit crazy, and I'd rather under promise and then over deliver. So there may not be any readings, but I will certainly try my best. So just wanted to put that out there. And so Sag, what's going on? Because it does not. It's a really peculiar energy because I feel like there seems to be this kind of like baseline of maybe wanting to work together, but feeling like it's a really high mountain to climb. But it does feel like there is a bit of longing between the two of you. But I feel like you're both kind of pulling away with different intentions or different motives, if that makes sense. So, to start off here, we have the Three of Pentacles as what's the relationship situation with the Two of Cups over top of the Three of Swords. Listen, man, somebody got their heart broken here, and you might not like to hear this because I feel like you know that you got your heart broken, but it does seem to be that this person feels that they have also had their heart broken. Excuse me. So I think we're going to start with your person here. Whoops. So we have the Knight of Swords is what's in their headspace, which is, of course, that it's like that message that's coming in that's blunt, that's straightforward, but can sometimes be a little bit like it's so blunt it borders on being unkind. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's kind of where their head is at. I also feel that there's something. I feel like they are racing towards something, but it doesn't necessarily feel like they're racing away from you. It feels more that they are, it's almost like they feel that they're under some sort of time crunch to figure out a truth here. I feel like it's almost like they feel they have to run off in this direction, do this thing really quick so that they can come back and kind of fix this mess, really. And I feel like you're looking at this person like, biznatch, like, try me. It's almost this energy of looking at them, feeling like they're going to come back and try to put you in this, I don't know if you can see this, but try to lock you up again. I feel like you're looking at it like it was a very toxic situation. And I'm going to be straight with you here, Sag. You might not like this, but I do feel that while this may have been toxic, you haven't fully closed the door, which is honestly a bit confusing because in your heart space, we've got the Ten of Swords, which talks about things. It's like it's got as bad as it's going to get. I do kind of feel that if this person comes back around, that there's a really potent message coming from you that, like, if this person thinks they're going to come back around and repeat the same pattern, I was going to say repeat the same shiz, but you know what I mean, then I feel like there's part of you, doesn't mean you'll do it, but there's part of you that's like, you know what, if this person comes back and tries to mess with me again, I might actually start messing with them. And it does feel a little bit vengeful. You might not like this reading. I'm going to tell you flat out. It does feel like you are the frustration, the has kind of morphed into, you know, a thirst for vengeance, if you will. And I feel like you may not realize that actually this person, bear with me. It's like they know they've done some damage, but they seem to think that they can race over here and do whatever it is that they're doing, and then they think they can race back in. It's almost like they're putting you on hold to go and, for example, may not be the actual situation, but it's like the two of you are in a very important, very vital conversation, and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna just put you on hold, thinking that it's going to be fine because there's a pot boiling over. So it's like if they had been like, you know what, this pot's about to boil over, it's going to, whatever, I got to go deal with this. That would have been one thing. But because they didn't tell you what they're doing, that it to them, it's an emergency. I feel like you're looking at it like this is just more the same shiz. This is more the same toxicity. And it's like you're just kind of waiting for them to pick back up that phone so you can give them an earful. So again, it may not be the actual situation, but that's just kind of what I'm seeing here. I feel like you're kind of ready to read this person the riot act. Now, in there, listen, this person might be an air sign. There's quite a bit of air. They don't have to be, but they have the Knight, the King, and the Ace of Swords on their side. So in your heart space, we have the Ten of Swords, your person. I just said those, so I won't repeat it. Listen, man, I understand that you're frustrated. I understand that you just kind of want to tell this person to go F themselves, possibly. But I kind of feel like for them, they're kind of madly in love with you. They seem to be so taken with you. It's like the more that they're away from you, the more they want you. It's that like absence makes the heart grow fonder. And I feel like the longer that they're away from you, it's almost like I heard something the other day that people fall in love in their imagination. I mean, maybe that's not true, but it feels like it is here. It's like this person, they seem to really admire you. And it does kind of feel like if you've stood up to this person lately or you've kind of pushed them out of your circle, it feels like it only made them want you more. But it feels like on some level, it's like they're taking a second to kind of regenerate, recoup. And I feel like at this time, they do have it's like, it feels like it's part of their long-term plan to come back towards you. I want to say like they see it now. I feel like they didn't appreciate you before. They may have either tried to or looked at you like you were less intelligent than them, that you were, I'm saying this as a fellow Sag. Okay, I have a lot of Sag placements. I feel like at times they may have discounted you as almost being like a little bit ditzy, a little bit airheaded. They may have tried to put you down or looked at you with like, an air of superiority. And I feel like they're looking at you now almost kind of like, it's like the wind knocked them back and they're just kind of, I don't know how to say this. And they seem to be looking at you almost kind of bowled over now that they've had some distance. And I feel like part of it's like if they do come back towards you, if and when, right? Because this is the energy in the cards. I feel like, this is the energy in the cards today. So I feel like this person, it's almost like when they come back towards you, it'll seem almost like they don't know how to handle you, and not in a negative way like, oh, you're too much. It's more like they might seem like they're a little bit more quiet, a little bit more thoughtful. They might not talk as much, and it's almost like because they're trying to leave the space open for you to come to them. It's like, I mean, I hope for this person's sake that they realize they're going to have to make first contact with you, but they're not, it doesn't feel like they're going to be as forward or as obtrusive or as you know, if they made certain assumptions about what you were going to do, how you felt, how this was going to go, I don't feel like they'll be acting like that's what's going to happen. Maybe they do have, like, they certainly have hopes here, but I feel like they kind of realize that actually you're the one that's in control now. Um, and it kind of feels like this person, it's like you may be feeling a bit vengeful over here because you've been hurt deeply, all right? Like, let's call a spade a spade. But I feel like this person over here, um, it's like they just kind of are going to wait out the storm or kind of be the calm within the storm. I don't think you're a storm. I'm not explaining this well, Sag. It feels like this person has every intention of just kind of letting you do what you got to do for the vengeance thing or kind of be mad at them, yell at them. And then they just seem to have this intention of like covering that with like, but I love you. But I love you. It's just they want to kind of like coat the whole thing in love. And I feel like they realize that they didn't do that before. It does feel like here that they have every intention of doing that. Um, I'm I'm just not so sure that they actually know how to. It's this energy of like, I don't know how this is going to happen, but this is going to happen. You know what I mean? It's like they don't know how they're going to make this work again. They don't know when it's going to happen, but it's like, but by God, it's going to happen. They really seem to be like thinking very differently about you. I feel like they're looking at you like they really did underestimate you. They should have given you more credit. And it's like now they know that it's going to be, you know, like if, for example, when you first meet somebody, if both of you treat each other really well, then it's great and there isn't all that stuff, right? But, and it's like you're starting from scratch and then you formulate your opinion about each other, but they know that they have to come in and change that opinion now. And I feel like they also know that it's going to be a lot of friggin' work. So it's kind of like this thing that they're rushing to do. It feels like they're going to go and take care of some things in their realm, their life, before they come back, because I feel like they know that when they come back, if they F around like they did before and they drop the call, or they're like, oh, just hold on, I got to do this, that if you do give them another chance and they do that even once, you know what I mean? Like they would expect nothing less than you cut them off entirely. Sorry about that, Sag. So the cards were saying that they would expect nothing less than you cut them off entirely. I feel like that's why this person might be somebody that moves slowly. I feel like there is someone on their team in their realm that actually seems to be a little bit annoyed by this. Hold on for a second. They seem exasperated, almost a little bit annoyed. Um, and I think that that might be because it's not the it's not the first time that your person has pulled this sort of situation. And I feel like they're used to being able to get back into people's lives. They do seem to want you more than they've wanted others. But I feel like because they've done this more than once, like they've taken people for granted and then gone back in and da 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 da. And I feel like it doesn't, I mean, obviously it hasn't worked out for them, right? But it just feels like on some level that there's someone that's actually quite protective of this person. They seem to feel that this person is a bit of a sucker for love. And I feel like they try to be a bit of a voice of reason, but it does feel like they're about to kind of, you know, Jesus take the wheel moment with your person, because it actually feels like they're just going to kind of let them fall. And what's really interesting about that is that I actually feel that this presence is exasperated with your person. It actually feels like them kind of being a bit of a wet blanket to your person has contributed to some of the failures that this person has had, at least relationally, because this exasperated, annoyed influence doesn't believe in them when it comes to this sort of thing. And it's like they keep trying to push them away from it. And I feel like because they kind of are a little disinterested in this person can kind of do what they want to do in the first place, it does actually feel like there's a higher chance of success if you're willing to let them in from what I'm seeing here. I do want to say this Page of Cups is really, oh, sorry, you can't see that card. This Page of Cups is a little bit iffy for me as a reader. Usually the Page of Cups talks about like a love message or an apology, but in this deck, it always feels like, oh, there's something else going on. Usually, and let me finish the sentence before, we pull out our jump to conclusions mat, because I know I've got one. Usually it means that they're in love with someone else. However, I feel like part of this person's delay isn't that they're in love with someone else. I feel like they know that they've lost before because they went in with the wrong attitude, and I feel like they're more trying to formulate. It's like they know, I feel like they know that they need to come in and have an answer for everything. And not in a like, oh, you got an answer for everything sort of attitude. It's more like they know that they need to come in and they better have the right friggin' answer, or you're going to tell them to hit the road if you let them talk to you at all. So I feel like they know that they need to have like their toolbox needs to be full. And not of manipulative tactics, but more of like they need to come in and they need to be a human and they need to earn your trust, and they know that they need to do that. I want to say like it's like they know that they, for example, it's almost like they've got this bucket of keys and they're going to have to try every single key to get in that door. But they want to make sure they have all the keys they could possibly find before they come towards you, if that makes sense. I feel like their motive here is to get you to think about them in a different way. And I feel like that's because that's how they would relate to it. And I kind of feel like they have their work cut out for them if that's their plan. So actions or intentions towards each other, we have the Six of Cups reversed on your end and the Seven of Wands on theirs. So I feel like you're over here, I'm going to clap, so if you have headphones on, I'm letting you know. You're over here like, I'm not repeating the past. It ain't gonna happen. And this person's over here trying to act like, excuse me, I feel like they're trying to act like they're fine, everything's fine. People might be asking them a lot of questions. I feel like a lot of people are asking them about you. I feel like there's concern on their end that you're getting a lot of attention. And I feel like it's almost like there's a bidding war. Not that you're something to be purchased or bought, but it's like they seem to have this intention of, it's like they're going to up the ante no matter what anybody else offers, right? It's like you might be having all of these offers coming in that you're not really paying attention to, but they're going to come in with something different. And I feel like that's part of the reason why they have to, or they feel that they need to kind of get everything in there, all their ducks in a row sort of thing. So that when they come in, they have the best offer for you. And I feel like you actually are very defensive towards this person, and not in a like, you shouldn't be, because obviously something happened. It just feels like you're looking at this situation like, I feel like you have zero intention of letting this person back into your soul because of how they treated you, because it feels like it was one of those things where you really had to choose yourself. You had to make one of those hard friggin' choices where you may have still had feelings for this person or wanted this person, but because they treated you the way that they did, those feelings had to be put aside and you had to make a decision for yourself. And I feel like they may not realize how bad it hurt for you to do that. I actually feel they really don't. Like, maybe they understand that they hurt you and this and that, but I feel like they may not have realized what it did to you when you had to do what you did. And I feel that if they knew that, if they knew how hard it was for you, I don't think they'd come back around. And hang on for a second, let me explain why. Because I feel like they would feel like you're the kind of person that they wouldn't actually deserve another chance with. Like, you don't deserve to be hurt that way. You don't deserve to have somebody that hurt you that way come back in your life. So I feel like that may be why they're kind of being, they don't know all of that information. So, I feel like that's not all the messages, but I'm not sure which deck to pull. 1 second. Okay. Can we get a card for, I was going to say, any advice or what to expect? We have the Empress here with the Ace of Wands. Just make sure I didn't miss any. Sometimes I do. Okay. And the Eight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Just a second here. So with this combination here, Sag, I mean, obviously there's a potential for a new beginning here. And I feel like the Empress is actually a little bit of a caution. I feel like in order to walk away from this person, you had to get in that self-love, right? You had to walk away from that which tried to destroy you, despite the fact that you still wanted it, which is a very, that's hard. I know we're not supposed to say things are hard. It's challenging, da-da-da. It was hard. It just was. And I feel like there's a message here that what you have rebuilt for yourself, I feel like there may be like this person re-entering may bring up a lot of stuff. It may bring back a lot of the hurt or the anger or the da-da-da-da that you experienced with them. And I feel like they kind of seem to come back in with this passion, with this drive, this ambition to be with you. And I feel like I just don't see you opening up to them very quickly or easily. I feel like this person really needs to earn your trust, and I feel like there might be some disappointment or defeat on this person's end. It's like you're not just going to cave and give in to them when they come around. If they think they're going to earn your trust back by, a few pretty words and, some flowers and candy or whatever, I feel like this person has another thing coming because they don't realize that the hurt they caused a change in you. And I feel like this person, despite the fact that they have every intention of making this work, the energy I'm seeing from you right now is that you don't really have any intention of letting them in. And it's almost like that energy of like someone's trying to swing at you and you've got your hand on their forehead and you're holding them back. And it kind of feels like that's where you're at with this person right now. I do feel that they have every intention of overcoming that. So it kind of feels like if this person really wants you and wants to make it up to you because of, for how they've treated you, they're going to have to put in the work. They're going to have to earn, I wanted to say earn your forgiveness, but that doesn't mean that you haven't forgiven them, okay? Because we don't hold on to that, right? We forgive people in even in the absence of an apology so we can let them go. But I feel like if they want to earn, I want to say like, this is going to sound really strange, but just bear with me. It's like if they want to earn enough forgiveness from you that you give them another chance, it feels like it's going to be over a long-term period. You know what I mean? It's like they're going to have to show you that they're different. Lip service is not going to fly. and it might be a longer term job for this person than they realize. There might be times where they feel a bit defeated, like they're not getting anywhere. And I feel like when they kick into that energy, there are some of them that may let this go. And that's not a warning for you or a this or a that. It's just some of them may kind of let it fall away, and then they get a little bit far away from you and they can't stand it and they come back. So I feel like regardless of what this person does, either they get it together and they come to you correctly and they treat you properly, or you're just going to stand there being your, damn empressy, emperor self. And you know what I mean? I feel like it does feel like if they do that, like they come back, they leave, they come back, they leave, that you'll be desensitized to them. So I kind of hope, not trying to side with this person, I hope for their sake that when they do come back around that they are ready for the fight to get you back, because it might be something like that. Anyway, I'll leave it there, Sag. If you have been going through the situation, if you've been feeling this kind of like angst and been working through it, I kind of got to give you some props here, because I know that can be really hard. It just feels like it's kind of a challenging way to start the new year. So I do apologize for that, Sag. But anyway, I'll stop rambling. I will leave it there. I love you so much, and I wish you a wonderful January. We'll see you in the next one. Much love. Bye.